again a welcome to you and you to another Bluegrass Ramble from Syracuse, New York. I'm Bill Knowlton. For the next 30 minutes, inviting you to join us for the finest in bluegrass and old-time country music talent from Canada, the northeastern United States, and specifically upstate New York. On this edition of the Bluegrass Ramble, you'll be entertained by Moonshine Holler from Rome, New York, the Salmon River Boys from Pulaski, New York, and from the flower city of Rochester, welcome, if you will, the Blue Ridge Country Ramblers.
Thank you, too. Here's one now called California Cotton Fields.
Everything we had, I sold or left behind. My daddy's plow to the foot that mama can. Some folks came to say farewell to see what all we had to sell. Some just came to shake my daddy's hand. The Model A was loaded down in California bound, and the change of luck was just 4 days away. But the only change that I remember seeing for my daddy was when his dark hair turned silver gray. California cotton fields, where the labor camps were full, where Edmund Logan lay. California cotton fields, where there's close to love as daddy ever came. Where there's close to love as daddy ever came.
Thank you very much. Here's a Jimmy Martin tune we'd like to do, one called Rock Hearts.
Rock hearts will break, believe my dear, and yours will break, and yours will break into life, baby. And when it does, dear, don't run to me, 'cause it will be too late to see. Why did you take my heart and throw it down? Why did you spread the word all over town? Why did you make me a laughing stock? to me, 'cause it will be to let you see. You didn't break my heart by running around. Another new love you have not found. You only came to me back in love. I haven't called your heart of love. Rock hearts will break. Rock hearts will break. Believe my dear. And yours will break. And yours will break. Do I fear? And when it does, dear, don't run to me. 'Cause it will be too late to see. Rock hearts will break. Rock hearts will break. Believe my dear. And yours will break. And yours will break. Do I fear? And when it does, dear, don't run to me. 'Cause it will be too late to see.
Oh, thank you so much. Real popular favorites of the Bluegrass Ramble here in Syracuse, New York. They have been with us for many years throughout the 10-year history of our TV and radio series that we do in Syracuse, the Bluegrass Ramble. We're talking about the Blue Ridge Country Ramblers. We want them back many times more on future Bluegrass Rambles. Speaking of future Bluegrass Rambles, we know that there will be more of these shows in your city and many others if you support this kind of a show. We're unique, definitely. We feature Northeastern and Canadian-type bluegrass and old-time country music, and we'd like to hear from you. There's the address on the screen, Bluegrass Ramble, WCNY-TV, 506 Old Liverpool Road, Liverpool, New York, 13088. We do keep a mailing list. Once in a while, if we get some money around here, we send out a little newsletter as to what's going on in the world of bluegrass and old-time country music. But more important, we just like to know what you think of our special talented bluegrass and old-time country artists from this part of the world. So send us a letter or a postcard this week. We'd like to hear from you. And about where you live, definitely. Right now, we're going up to the salmon capital of the United States. That's what they call Pulaski, New York. Not far from Oswego, not far from the Thousand Islands. We love these people very much with their special brand of old-time country music. They call themselves the Salmon River Boys.
Well, thank you very much, Bill, and everyone here giving us a kind listen. We're going to start out here with a tune, one called Little Girl Dressed in Blue. Well, I fell in love with a pretty little girl, her name I do not know. I see her in the evening wherever I may go. She wears a white lace handkerchief, it's marked with me and you. I'll know her when I see her, the little girl dressed in blue. Oh, she almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. Oh, she almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. So shy, and when the horses saw her, they both began to fly. Well, they ripped and teared and tossed and scared, and down the street they flew until they passed that pretty little girl, the little girl dressed in blue. Oh, she almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. Oh, she almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. Oh, she almost drives me crazy, and I don't know what I'll do if I don't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. We thank you. Gil, how about giving them that song there? It ain't gonna rain no more.
Oh, it ain't gonna rain no more, no more.
It ain't gonna rain no more. How in the heck can I wash my neck when it ain't gonna rain no more?
The frog was sitting on the lily pad, looking up at the sky. The lily pad broke and the frog fell in, got water all in his eye.
Oh, it ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. How in the heck can I wash my neck when it ain't gonna rain no more? Well, I went to see my Sally, but Sally wasn't in. I sit down on a red hot stove, but I got right up again. Oh, it ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. How in the world can the old folks tell it ain't gonna rain no more?
Peanuts sitting on the railroad track, car was all off water. Down from a train and struck him flat, took the peanut butter.
Oh, it ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. How in the heck can I wash my neck if it ain't gonna rain no more? Well, I took my gal a boat ride, and the water it was wet. The boat turned over in the middle of the pond, and she got her stockings wet. Oh, it ain't gonna rain no more, no more. It ain't gonna rain no more. How in the world can the old folks tell it ain't gonna rain
he fly high, the mosquito he fly low. The mosquito lights on me, he wants to fly no more.
Oh, it ain't gonna rain no more, no, it ain't gonna rain no more. Hell in the heck, can I wash my neck, it ain't gonna rain no more. Okay, we thank you so very much. We're going to do one more tune here for you. We're going to close out again this time with a gospel tune, and we're going to call on Lee to sing that for you. It's one called When I Get Home.
Oh, when my Savior calls me home up yonder, I'm gonna have me a mansion on the other side. Stay and play with a band of a million angels. When I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied.
I'll have me a harp of gold that's just like David's when I get over on the other side. Stay and play with a band of a million angels.
When I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied. I'll have me a talk with Abraham and Isaac. Have a little talk with Peter, James, and Paul. I'm gonna sit down and have a little talk with Dad and Mama. But I'll have a little talk with Jesus first of all.
I'll have me a harp of gold that's just like David's when I get over on the other side. I'll stay and play with a band of a million angels.
When I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied. Yes, when my Savior calls me home up yonder, I'll have that mansion on the other side. I'll tell my neighbor how glad I am to see him. When I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied.
I'll have me a harp of gold that's just like David's when I get over on the other side. Stay and play with a band of a million angels.
When I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Salmon River Boys from Pulaski, New York. They are kind of a folklore around the Bluegrass Ramble and around Pulaski, which incidentally is named after General Casimir Pulaski, but they call it Pulaski up there. Just like down in Tennessee, they call it Pulaski, Tennessee. Anyway, the Salmon River Boys consist of a dad and his sons, and also the dad's brother-in-law. And I guess, Lauren, teach out, your dad and uncle have been together for close to 40 years playing this kind of music. Not only as a duo, but with the boys, as you can see, and they're very famous for the square dances that they call in and around upstate New York, over in the Tug Hill area. We are going to go from Pulaski right over to historic Rome, New York. That's a nice place. They have the Fort Stanwicks. Come up and see us sometime. We're talking about Moonshine Holler, everybody.
She got aboard the Greyhound, the driver had the diesel set to go. She was crying when she left me like I was, but I couldn't let it show. I wish I could have told her music didn't mean that much to me. But music is my way of life, and on the road is where I have to be. She didn't like to travel north, the nights I had to stay out of town. She wanted me to stay with her, take a factory job and settle down. But music's my profession, the only thing I've ever really known. If I'm ever gonna make it, I guess I have to make it on alone. Morristown, she's on the Greyhound. It's rolling as she's coming back to you. Morristown, she's on the Greyhound. She's going and there's nothing I can do. She stayed with nothing, left me and I'm finally on my way. There's people down in Nashville who like the sounds we're making, so they say. I couldn't leave the fellas, I worked too hard to get that different sound. She knows how much I love her, happiness to her is Morristown. Morristown, she's on the Greyhound. It's rolling as she's coming back to you. Morristown, she's on the Greyhound. She's going and there's nothing I can do. She's going and there's nothing I can do. Thank you kindly. I'll take a short minute to introduce the band here. Playing the bass, we have Mr. Stan Brand from Holland Patton. Over on my right, playing the mandolin, is Cliff Kreider. He's from Rome. We have Mr. Pat Parsnow from Bowen's Corners, playing the banjo. And my name is John Lubeck. I'm from Rome. I'm gonna get Cliff to sing you an old Red Allen tune. It's called Who Done It?
There was a time when you were mine and I belonged to you. You broke your vow, so listen now while I give you a clue. You wanted to run your own life, so I'll just let you run it. And when your dream train jumps the tracks, I'll guess you know who done it.
Who done it? Who was it broke your heart? Who done it? Who keeps us apart? You gamble with the love I gave until another wanted. So when you find you're all alone, just ask yourself who done it.
I promised you a bungalow with roses round the door, a diamond ring and everything, but still you wanted more. You wanted to run your own life, so I'll just let you run it. And when that dream train jumps the tracks, I'll guess you know who done it.
Who done it? Who was it broke your heart? Who done it? Who keeps us apart? You gambled with the love I gave until another wanted. So when you find you're all alone, just ask yourself who done it. So when you find you're all alone, just ask yourself who done it. Thank you kindly. Rain, please go away. Leave me alone.
today. Our love is gone, there to stay. Go away, please go away. It's tough to live the whole day through, thinking of her is all I do. She's happy now and I'm so blue. Go away, she's cold like you. If on the time when drag so slow, if I could find new love and let it grow, I'm kidding myself, don't happen that way. Go away, please go away. Whoa, whoa, rain, please go away.
Well, like the rain, we've got to go away too, and we really regret it because we've had a great half hour with the finest in bluegrass and old-time country music that we have in upstate New York. I hope that you've enjoyed for the past half hour. From Pulaski, New York, the old-time stylings of the Salmon River Boys. Rochester, the Flower City, sent us the Blue Ridge Country Ramblers, and on stage from the historic city of Rome, New York, Moonshine Holler. We do Bluegrass Ramble quite a few weeks throughout the year, and we hope you'll tell your local station about us, and please drop us a note. Till we see you again for the Bluegrass Ramble, Bill Knowlton saying, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. And may God ever hold you in the hollow of his hand. Good night from the Bluegrass Ramble. Production of the Bluegrass Ramble was made possible in part by a grant from the Eastern Educational Network. Like that music in the background? Well, I do too. I'm Bill Knowlton, and I do a show here in Syracuse called the Bluegrass Ramble. And that's what you're watching right now. Some of the finest bluegrass and old-time country music from the northeastern United States and Canada. Today's edition of the Bluegrass Ramble features old-time music and dulcimer tunes by Syracuse's own Cranberry Lake with Dan Duggan. Four-time New York State champion fiddler Hal Casey and Company from North Syracuse. And from Hannibal, New York, Andy Palanco and the Smoky Hollow Boys.
Well, we made it. We made it through that one. Oh, we're so proud to be here. Thank you, folks. Thank you kindly. There's the old joke about making love to the old maid and plodding for country music. Just can't overdo it. For the Smoky Hollow Boys, one quick rundown. Bob Shorsliff on the dobro, Pat Parsnow on the 5-string banjo. Bob's from Sterling Valley, let's get that straight. Pat's from Baldwinsville, Bowen's Corners. Neil Shorsliff on mandolin from Sterling Valley. Want to thank Tennessee George Harriger for filling in with us today. Our banjo player lives in Elmira, and he says, I'm not coming up in that country. And we want to welcome my boy back. He's been 4 years away in the Navy. He's just back as playing his first job and with us since 2 years ago. He was on the Ramble picnic or whatever it was, and want to welcome Mike back. I guess we got everybody but myself, and I'm Andy Polanco, and we're called the Smoky Hollow Boys. Are you missing me?
The day I kissed you and told you goodbye, your lips told me that you would wait. But your lips deceived me and told me you're mine, oh, your heart was sealing my fate. Are you all alone with a memory? Now that I am gone, darling, are you missing me? Then out of a clear sky a letter then came, and just like a bolt from the blue, my castles came tumbling as I read it home. I still can't believe that it's true. Are you all alone with a memory? Now that I am gone, darling, are you missing me? It said in spite of the vows we made, the glitter was over her head. And while I was trying employment to find, you married another instead. Are you all alone with a memory? Now that I am gone, darling, are you missing me?
Yes, sir. Mighty fine. Mighty fine. Okay, now we're going to go way back and pick up one of old Wilma Lee and Stoney Cooper's numbers called Come Walk With Me.
Come walk with me down Lover's Lane, where we once walked together. For old time's sake, I'm asking of you, dear, and I'll go away forever. This little band of gold, I'll keep it forever, as a token of my love that never could be. It's a story of my life, no past with no future, and all that it's left is a sad memory. I think of a life we could have together, and dream of a past they wouldn't last. So come walk with me down Lover's Lane, and I'll go away forever. to me. Down Lover's Lane, then I'll go away forever.
Bluegrass Ramble Blues, George. Couple verses.
When I was young and in my prime, I lived my home in Caroline. Now all I do is sit and pine for all the folks I left behind. I got the very mountain gonna stand right here to say, Richard back to travel little tracks and travel to that courage fire away. I'm gonna stay right by my mom. I'm gonna do right by my pa. I'll hang around that cabin door. No work or worry anymore. I got the very mountain gonna see my old robbery. Rolling on the back of the car. I'm that very fire away.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Andy. Okay, thank you very much. Andy Polanco and all the Smoky Hollow Boys doing such a super job for us here on our Bluegrass Ramble show. They are from the coal country of Hannibal, New York, and we love having them come down here. They've been on many of our Bluegrass Ramble shows, and I know that they'll be on in the not-too-distant future again. Right now, we want to remind you that if you like what you see on the Bluegrass Ramble, we'd like to hear from you. We have a mail list that sometimes if we have a little money, we get out a little notice letting you know what's going on in central and upstate New York, in fact, the northeastern United States and southern Ontario, Canada. So why don't you send me a postcard this week to the Bluegrass Ramble, WCNY-TV, Old Liverpool Road, Liverpool, New York, 13088. We'd like to hear from you wherever you are watching and listening to the one and only Bluegrass Ramble. And here's some good music to write that letter by. This fellow is the 4 times New York State champion fiddler. Started in bluegrass just when bluegrass itself was starting. And we're talking about Andy Polanco and the Smoky Hollow Boys.
Just as long as I stay in this lonesome town, as I go walking down this lonely street, thinking of the love that used to be, the one I love is gone and I'm so lonely, and I thought I heard my darling speak to me. I thought I heard the voice of my darling. I looked, but there was no one else around. That's when I knew her memory would haunt me, just as long as I stay in this lonesome town. Neil Shortslip. It seems so long now since she went away, although it was only yesterday. I see
Thank you. Thank you. One quick rundown on the group here. We got Bob Shorsliff on dobro from Sterling, Pat Parsonal on the 5-string banjo from Bones Corners, Neil Shorsliff on mandolin from Sterling, New York, Tennessee George Harriger on the fiddle. Thanks for helping me out today, George, and we'll thank you some more time when we get better paid. And he's from Phoenix, New York, and my boy Mike Palenko on the bass, and sometimes he even tries to sing. Oh, there's a bill collector out there, and he's just waiting for my name, Andy Palenko, and I'm from North Hannibal. So is Mike. Okay, we always like to put a gospel number in our shows, so what was the name of that gospel number, Neil? Yeah. I am going to a city where the streets with gold are paved, where the tree of life is blooming, and
Well, there you have northeastern United States bluegrass and old-time country music. We're very proud of this music that we hear in our hills and valleys and cities in the northeastern United States and, of course, Canada. We want to thank some real fine people who've been on the Bluegrass Ramble tonight. People such as Hal Casey, former New York State champion fiddler, along with Dan Horn, George Harrington, and Dave Snyder. We had Cranberry Lake with Dan Duggan on his great hammer dulcimer. And from the North Country around Hannibal and Sterling Valley, New York, near Lake Ontario, the boys playing in the background. We're talking about Andy Polanco and all the Smoky Hollow Boys. We hope to be in your home again for another Bluegrass Ramble. Until the next time, Bill Knowlton here saying, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back, and may God ever hold you in the hollow of his hand. Good night from the Bluegrass Ramble. Production of the Blue.
Who did not see.